Let's see. I'm seeing some handsome faces on the screen.
You are handsome. Woo!
Oh yeah.
Good God Almighty!
I'm hearing some good noises back there too. It sounds like people are populating.
Nice, nice, nice. Let me plug in my phone here. I see us on Twitch.
Excellent. Oh, I gotta pull the little chat thing on the side. Do I have that right?
All right, Scott, getting back on the bike again.
Yeah, all right. And Facebook's got us. So we are
Yep,
good to go. All right, folks. It is the return of war. We are resilient. And
we're resilient. We are war.
yes, back at it again. Took a little hiatus there for a minute. Jeremy, welcome, welcome.
Jeremy, brother, good to
And,
see you.
and had a good event last week with the Special Playing Foundation. They had 3 comics, and the headliner was a female Coast Guard veteran, and very funny. It was a good show.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. We got Barry Estevez checking in. Hey, guys.
So we in Iraq we called him Uncle Barry.
Uncle Barry.
Yep, he was a master sergeant. He was Uncle Barry. We even had a nice little ornament on the Christmas tree for him.
Very nice. Very nice. So we've been off for a little while, but hey, we're back at it, and again, this is just us rapping about different things that mean different things to us, and it's just really cool to be here, Mike. And how did the event go last weekend? Because we had the guys on from the Specialist Pliny Foundation and Mindy's. You know, how'd you enjoy it?
Oh, it was a success. I mean, the place it was sold out. They had
Get
silent
out.
auctions going. They had raffles going, and they had this really neat thing that I saw that they were doing as a fundraiser. They had like 30 numbers on like a bulletin board, and you would go up and you would pay $20 and you get a number envelope. And so the number envelope would either have a prize in it or like it had a sticker. If you got a sticker, you got a scratch ticket. If there's a 50, 100, or like a gift card inside the envelopes.
Nice.
So it was a nice way to like kind of have another thing to like not like gamble on, but a way to fundraise, and keep it fun and entertaining and engaging with the people that are there.
Well, I like the fact that it was a comedy show. It was family friendly. Uh, Checked out the venue online because I didn't get a chance to go because my Achilles was bothering me. But it seemed like it was really accessible, right? You could come there and there's plenty of room, a good crowd, and it didn't cost an arm. You had to pay something, right? You're paying something to get
Yep.
in.
So it was $20 for a seat, and then Hellfish Haven we got at a table at the event. Um, we gave away a couple of tickets to guys on Facebook. They just had to follow Special Cleaning Foundation Men's Mission, and we were able to hook a couple guys up with some tickets to the event. They came on. It was funny because they sat next to me, and the guy started talking. And he's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I run Hellfish Haven." He's like, "Oh, that's you." And he was talking to me like an hour before that, like on Facebook.
Well, cool, man. I mean, I just love that they did it. I'm glad people came out. Was it really sold out? Because I couldn't believe that a lot of these people do things sometimes and they don't sell out, but this was sold out.
It was a solo event, and every table was was packed with folks, and unless people were sick or weren't able to make it, but every seat in the place was full. Like I said, the silent auction went. All the raffle prizes went. Everything. It was a good fundraiser, and it was in honor of Special Planey, who passed away overseas in Iraq. Mike Peterson, who was on with us last week, he runs the Special Planey Foundation because he was Matt's team leader, squad leader. So he said this is, one way that he really, does appreciate doing things for Matt is the comedy show, because Matt was that type of soldier that, would always be inappropriate at the right time to make everybody laugh.
That's cool, man. I mean, and laughter truly is the best medicine. Uh, you know, we military types have a dark, sick sense of humor. Weird stuff makes us laugh, and we'll laugh right at you, while you're, going through something, but then be there to pick you up. I'm just glad there was a great turnout and people came out and support what, they're doing. And, glad you got to, be there, and we got to talk to, Mike about what's going on.
Yep. And I know that the mini division has a pig roast coming up, I believe, in June.
Oh,
That's
nice.
actually free for veterans and military. So I will get some graphics on that and throw that up. Um, that would just be overlay, right?
You could share your screen or try to put it as an overlay. Sharing your screen may be easier.
Let's see. And then the other thing that we wanted to chat about tonight was the VA. People, stop digging on it when it's, it's self-induced problems that people are having with the VA and blaming it on, the staff of the people that are there.
Yeah, man. I mean, so if I may rant for a little bit there for you, Mikey, we call it
Absolutely,
Mike
take
for
away.
you, Mike. Look, I understand that the VA at one time didn't have the best reputation. I understand that, and it's documented, right? Even as recently as like got really bad between 2009 and 2014. That hey, we got serious problems here. But even before that, veterans were getting care, and the VA is the largest single healthcare provider in the United States in terms of patients seen and the number of employees that take care of veterans, right? So, and again, there's documented cases of problem VAs. There was a problem in Arizona with one. There was a problem, in Florida with one. There's been problems, but and again, it's easy to sit there and bash it. It's a big target to hit, right? But I'm also like seeing where you have a group of veterans talking to civilians, talking to each other, talking to family who've never been to the VA, and will sit there and bash or rag on the VA. And I'm like, I can't say that, Mike. I can't say that. And for people who care or want to know, about 3 years ago, I ruptured my quadricep tendon. My ortho believes it was from the Marine Corps injury that got me separated from the military. And it just took, years to finally snap, which is what happened. And I went to VA PT, and my people told me, do not go to VA PT, use a civilian PT. But I'm like, well, people had told me that the VA center we have up here, the Brockton, Jamaica Plain, and West Rocks, are really good because they get a lot of their doctors from mass hospitals and mass teaching hospitals. And I had gone to civilian PT for my left ACL. And the thing is, people don't understand is, you go to civilian PT and they're like, well, based on your injury and a couple other factors, the insurance company is going to pay for 8 to 10 appointments. And I got to 10 appointments. So I'm like, hey, I think I'm not quite right yet. Well, the insurance company says you are. This is it. You can go back and fight with them or pay out of pocket. You're done. Bam. That's it. I go into the VA PT and see Dr. McCall, Dr. M. She knows who she is. She's watching this. And Dr. M, you were awesome. And she's like, well, if we're going to get you back based on your injury and what's going to happen, it's going to be a long, painful process. And if you work with me on this, we will be there for you and help you get right. And they weren't lying. Like, this was a difficult ordeal to go through. Not something I want to do again or wish on anybody, really. But you know what? I'd go to PT, and there's the doctor, there's her team. From checking in to getting out, they were with me all the way. And 2 years later, after I got injured, it paid off. It really did. Like, I'm doing fantastic. And now, almost 3 years later, I'm even in better shape. It's like I never got hurt, which is weird. But the doctor told me, hey, we'll get you healed up to where the quadricep is better than it ever was. And I feel like it is. And I felt like I got the kind of care from the VA that I wouldn't have gotten from civilian care. And every time I went there, even though it was hard, and even though some days I would do, Mike, I mean, the appointments were only like 30 minutes, but like minute 17, I'm like, man, I feel like I did a 20-mile hump. I'm that gassed. I'm like, what is going on? I never felt like I was, you know, a problem to them or just a number on a piece of paper. I felt like they actually cared about getting me, right side up and active and back to where I was. And so, I found out that, if you come into the VA, and I know sometimes mistakes happen, but Mike, when I have an appointment, I get multiple phone calls, multiple text, emails, like the app fires up, the VA app that I have fires up. I mean, there's like multiple layers of redundancy to make sure they know I have an appointment on this date, and if I have a problem, to call them. So I show up there with a good attitude, even though I know, hey, you know what? It's time to get Travis's ass kicked. Here we go for another ass kicking. Bend
Now, did you get
over.
to go in the pool at all?
No, no, and she really hated that. She apologized for that. They're redoing the pool at the Brockton VA. It won't be ready for like another year. Like, it's gonna be completely redone and upgraded. But they're like, we I wish we could put you in the pool, but we don't have one. But besides all that, man, I found out that you go to the VA, you treat them with respect, you try to have a positive attitude, and yeah, I get it, man. You go there, and a lot of times you're in pain. You and I carry, damage that is just, it's there, man. It's not going away, and it sucks some days. But they'll meet you halfway if you meet them halfway. And I found that a lot of people who have problems are because they skipped appointments, or skip treatment plans because it got hard. And sometimes mistakes happen, sure, but you missed an appointment, didn't call to reschedule. You showed up to appointment late, which causes problems. And then you show up to an appointment and you didn't want to follow through on the treatment plan. So to me, it's hard for me to feel sorry for you if you're not meeting them halfway. And I find out that if you do, the VA is a pretty good place to be. I just don't have a bad thing to say. I really don't, Mike. So I'm off my soapbox, but I just want to get that out there that, you know what? Places make mistakes, absolutely. But there's a lot you
Yeah,
can do to control that outcome too.
absolutely. And like I mentioned to you when we brought up this topic, earlier in the week, the only thing I got bad to say about the VA is, they had put the wrong name in my lower dentures. So when I had to give my lower dentures up because I'm getting the implants in on the bottom, they took my lower dentures and they didn't give them back to me because it didn't have my name in them. So it's got somebody else's name on my dentures. It's just like, like Jerry Michelle or something like that instead of Michael Geary. So it's obviously the person's name was the next one, the one before me. So I was just like, that's a clerical mistake. It's nobody's fault on that one. I should have, made a statement or something to, hey, before you go, put something on the, tag that says it's mine. And so that was the only bad part was my bottom teeth went missing. And now that it's finally healed up, I have to go back in and do a remold again. So that way they can make a set of bottom dentures to snap into the screws I have now.
Nice.
And then maybe I won't slur so much when I talk.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't report problems. I'm not saying you shouldn't tell people when there is a problem. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm also like, hey, man, we gotta be honest when the VA's doing a good job with healthcare, because I've met several people who've never served in the military, man, who honestly go to work and care about veterans. We got Paul Jones saying, well, Barry says he loves his VA care, and then did we mention this? I don't remember mentioning this.
I think it's something similar. God, this is what I was going to talk about for a quick second. Was
Oh,
this?
okay,
So this was the. So this is the pig roast, and the Saturday, July 20th, 1 to 5, in Chelmsford at the Elks Pavilion.
nice.
And like I said, veteran and military are free. And then you see the price there. The food wristband, $20, full buffet. I mean, a pig roast. How can that go bad? I mean, that sounds wonderful.
Dude, it sounds like I'm not seeing a problem there. I'm not seeing a problem there at all. We got Jimmy James from Colorado checking in. Jimmy, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. But I mean, Mike, is there anything that you would tell somebody going to the VA for the first time to do right, what to do and what not to do to have a good VA experience?
I mean, the first thing is, don't take comp and pen as the whole experience with the VA. Comp and pen has a specific mission that they're there to do. Some doctors are very, against, giving away, ratings and things like that, are very by the book, are very, this is what the regulation says. The first time I went in to be evaluated for my back when I came back in 2006 was, the guy told me, touch my toes, touch the top of the door frame, get out of here, go get a job. And like, that's how he evaluated my back that had a herniated disc with the S1 nerve being pinched down both my legs. And so it was like, that's a whole different beast. So just, once I got over to primary care, they actually got me into MRIs. They, saw what was wrong and started a treatment plan and working with me. And the same thing, I went over to the West Roxbury VA. I was able to do the aqua therapy though with the pool. Like there's a lot of chlorine in there. I don't know if it's because, a bunch of restaurant bastards pee in the pool, but there's a lot of chlorine in that pool.
Well, I did my comp and pen at the Jamaica Plain VA, and you're right, it's a very different experience than actually getting health care. So it's two different things. It's not even, I wouldn't even call it VA healthcare. It can't be. It's comp and pen, and those people. I don't know. I don't. I didn't get the same vibe you got, but I definitely got that. Hey, there's no freebies here either. I'm like, okay, I get that, but I don't think I'm complaining about something that is just in my mind, right? I'm not trying to just get more. I went through something. I want to get reevaluated, but that's
You
totally
know,
different. You're right. It's totally different. But so it's not cop and pen. What else? What else would you suggest?
Uh, like if you can't make an appointment, definitely cancel. Give another veteran that opportunity to take it because there's been times where you sit there waiting and like you're looking and there's nobody in the waiting room besides you, but they're going through and they have to call the other veteran, see where they are, see if they're coming, and then the people that are waiting could be seen in that time frame. Well, if you're no call no show, you're holding everybody back. So try to help out there if you can, and just also know that like you said, these people that are working at the Boston VA also have jobs throughout the New England region for the different hospitals, paying their student loans through their work at the VA, and it's a great thing for us because we're actually getting some of the best care in the nation at the Boston VA because of that.
Yeah, that's the thing people don't understand is, the doctors may change, but you're getting doctors that are trained at the best hospitals in the world. Boston, for all its quirks, faults, and flaws, has some of the. It's noted we have the best hospitals in the world. We have the best teaching hospitals in the world. So when we're getting these doctors coming out of these hospitals, we're getting great care.
And then the other thing too is like Don't be afraid to, if you and your doc team or your medical team aren't clicking, don't be afraid to switch. Because, there are other doctors and there's other locations, whether, I've been seen at Brockton VA, I've been seen at West Roxbury VA, I've been seen at Jamaica Plain, I've been seen at the Lynn Outpatient Clinic for Bedford, I've been seen at Bedford, you know, uh, there's so many different locations, don't feel that you're stuck with a provider once you get one. If they're not listening to you, you do have ombudsman, you have the patient advocates that are there at uh, the VAs. And unlike patient advocate at like a regular hospital that's getting paid by the hospital, the VA patient advocate is actually working for the patients. They're not working for the hospital trying to protect from the patients. you know they're working for the patients. So anytime I've called them within 12 hours, I've had a response back, and I've had the problem almost settled within the first phone call.
Well, the other thing too is we call him JJ. You might have met him. He's been through the VA system. One thing he really drilled into my head is like, hey, when you get those surveys from the VA, whether they're online or a phone survey, take them. And if the service was great, tell them if the service was great, because every one of those are gathered and analyzed. Like the VA has to hit certain service levels and metrics to justify certain things, and so they want to know if that veteran is being taken care of. And to your point, don't be afraid to contact a patient advocate. That's what they're there for.
And then a buddy of mine, his dad was a Marine Corps vet, Vietnam, and he works as a custodian at the JP uh, facility. No, he was at West Roxbury. But he said, the VA hospital gave me a statement. Said, the VA hospital has saved my life in the past couple of years. Lots of health issues, still waiting for them to take care of all the vets who went through Camp Lejeune, early 70s, drank plenty of water, but didn't hit that 30-day cutoff. That's where he thinks a lot of his stuff came from, but they're still helping him in the meantime while he's going through the claims process, and he's going through the appeals and everything to try to get that. The VA is still there providing him that care.
Man, that's good to hear, man. I mean, and this is kind of why we want to do this tonight. It's something positive, right? Even with them messing up your teeth, they still got it, made it right in a timely manner. And so I just, I don't know. I felt like it's not all bad, and we shouldn't say it's all bad, because it's not.
I mean, I can't, beat the price of it, as somebody that's, 100%, my dental is covered by the VA. And
Oh
so
wow,
with that, I'm getting the implants, which would be, twenty to $30,000 if I went to the civilian doctor and did it. And I'm getting that covered by the VA. So,
man, that's fantastic, man.
they
That's
put,
fantastic.
four screws in, and then, they'll take they'll make them old again. Like I said, be able to snap some teeth on those screws, be able to bite something again.
Well, nice, nice. Well, I mean, you got to have a smile, Mike, and it's nice that it's getting fixed. And look at that, look at that, you freaking handsome devil, you. So, um, we're coming into Memorial Day next month. Uh, while we're sitting here, oh, Uncle Barry's being fresh.
Well, when I was in Al Assad, I did have my medic hit me in the face with a baseball bat. We were playing softball, and my medic let go of the bat over his shoulder, and I was catching and hit me right in the chin. I've got a small little spot where I can't grow hair anymore there.
Oh wow,
And so we actually had him and the other medic. We had a medic from West Virginia attached to us too, Tate, that helped my medic Keedy do the stitches for me, because I'm like, you busted me open, you're gonna cut, sew it up.
we got Memorial Day coming, man. You, you know, it's a very interesting month. May's a very interesting month, and so um, and then we got June, which is Armed Forces Appreciation Day, coming in June. But I kind of, I don't know. May's a bittersweet month, because I remember those who I served with who didn't make it out, and you know, just what was had to happen for us to enjoy that unofficial start to summer. And then, there's a lot of stuff going on this year. I think COVID is finally over and people are really ramping up their, summer activities up here because, of course, the summers are short. I mean, can you believe that today is just 41 and just nasty, Mike, and it's April?
It's not even like the beginning of April. It's well into April and it's
Right?
still cold as hell.
I just want a couple days of like 60s and 70s where it's just, come on. I mean, it is absolutely miserable outside right now. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. But the other thing too is, you know, all things considered, we want to hear from you. We got Ellen Houston Andre.
Yep. So Ellen was one of the ones that helped run the event last week,
Oh yeah,
and
nice to meet you,
she
Ellen.
uh, is also helping with this event coming up. The one we talked about a minute ago.
The pig roast.
Yes.
Hey, are you guys going to have? We ask her this: are you guys going to have pig brains there? Because I grew up. I was born in Indiana, and there's a festival in Evansville, and you can get fried pig brains there. I mean, it is. There's nothing like a brain sandwich, Mikey. There's nothing like a brain sandwich. I promise you. With a some tomato. Yes, yes,
Pig heads.
yes. It's good. I mean, waste not, want not, right? And I'm like, eating this thing, and I'm like some lettuce and tomatoes with some mustard on it, or some horseradish. Mm. That is good eating right there. I just had to ask. I mean, you're having a pig roast. I mean, we're going to do the whole pig, right?
I just can't imagine did somebody go up and stick a fork in the eyeball and is the whole thing
they, they
edible?
they turn the head over and cut the brain out, and then deep fry it, and then they put it between a hamburger bun, and it's like the size of a Big Mac, right? And it's a really different texture consistency. Let's put it like that. Ground pig is awesome. There's nothing wrong with ground pig, Jimmy. Ellen says disgusting. Ellen, you've never tried it. Don't knock it till you've tried it. I bet if I gave you a brain sandwich, you'd think it was awesome if I didn't tell you what it was.
That was for me with venison the first time I had it. I did not want to eat Bambi, and then my stepdad gave us a burger and didn't tell us what it was. And I was like, this burger's really good. What's different about it? And it was venison.
She's down, Mikey. She'd try it.
All right.
Maybe we could turn that into a fun little outtake, or I don't know. It'd be really cool. Watch Ellen eat a brain. And brains are good. So we're going into Memorial Day. We're going into summer, man. How's Hellfish Haven doing at the new digs?
It's great being adjacent with 22 Mohawks. It's such a great organization, group of people there. With such a similar mission. Those guys are insane with their event schedule though. Like they're, 1 week they've got, a dog training to come up to work with a police department in New Jersey. The next week they've got a cornhole tournament, a trivia night the next week, and then a firearm safety course. It's like those guys keep themselves busy, and
Nice.
it's really great to see all that stuff happening for the veteran community, and the things that they do out there that they provide.
Well, awesome, awesome, man.
How's uh I got you six two lives at once.
Well, our trainer is going through her certification course right now, and then once we have that, we will set everything. You know, we'll have the program complete. We really want to put a premium on that, right? We've just seen some issues, like even around here, where a dog, bit somebody, or caused a ruckus. And I was going to ask you, Mikey, one of the things we're trying to tell people is, and you have a service dog,
Mhm.
is we're trying to, a service dog that allows itself to be, or if an owner of a service dog allows it to be petted, is it really a service dog? I thought they weren't supposed to be, petted by strangers because that dog is working.
So you're not supposed to just come up and like go and pet the dog. You can ask the owner, and like what I do is I'll have Jose sit, and then I'll give him a release, make a friend,
Yeah.
and at that point he can walk away, go over, sniff, and return. And so that way, if somebody does that, because at the Haven we had veterans coming in and out, and I didn't want Jose to be stuck underneath the desk all day down there. So we worked on a way to be able to do that. But when they're working, their focus needs to be on the veteran. And to be a service dog, they have to perform a function. They can't just be it can't just be their presence. They have to do a task to perform. And like for like Jose, like he can open the handicap doors. He can pick up pill bottle, wallet, things that fall down and I'm not able to get to. He can pick it up and pass it to me. Uh, if I lose my balance, he can come up next to my leg and show me up. It's these different things that define the service dog versus emotional support. And, like what the problem is the way the law is written. You can't really ask somebody, you know, prove that your dog is a service dog or that. But once if the dog is loud, is barking, if the dog is causing a ruckus, urinates or defecates inside of a building, at that point the dog is no longer welcome under the ADA laws.
Well, we're going to have our dogs ADA registered and AKC registered, so it's not foolproof, right? It never is, but at least it's something that the veteran or first responder is going to have to show that it's not just a pet. It's gone through that level of rigor. So it's all going. I don't know what that URL is. Let me click on it.
Can you click it? I can't.
I'm trying to. I don't know what's Brian Roof from the Military United podcast streams. What's going on, dude? Brian Roof has an amazing show, man. We got to get him on here. Brian, I promise you, I'm going to reach out tonight after Oscar Mike Radio and see about that. Yeah, he has Military United podcast streams, and it's been a great relationship getting to work with him and what he's doing in the veteran creator space. So good to see you, Brian.
And who do you have on tonight's episode of War or not
Oh,
War? Oscar Mike Radio.
oh man, so glad you asked, dude. This is a special one for me, Mikey. It's number 392. Counting down to 400. But tonight is Yvette Benavides Garcia, and where? Let me get the YouTube link for this while I'm talking. The thing that got me about this one is she is the daughter of U.S. Army Master Sergeant Roy Benavides, and the thing is, uh, he he's got the Medal of Honor, like he's a Medal of Honor recipient, and people didn't really know about him, and so she wrote a book and calls it Tango Mike Mike, the story of her father, right?
I
And the
just
cool
posted
thing,
the link for you.
oh, thanks, dude. I'm like trying to do multiple things at the same time, and she talks about why she wrote the book, and she really talked about too the aspect of being a daughter watching what her father went through post Vietnam, because it wasn't like he the Medal of Honor winners, not winners, excuse me, recipients, um were treated very differently now than they were back in the day. And so to hear that from a daughter, right? We hear from the veterans themselves or people they serve with or their spouses, but I don't ever get to hear from the children. And yes, she's our age, but to hear from her perspective about her sister and her brother growing up with their father, who was you know, an army badass. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I'm like, man, this dude was savage. This dude was a kind of guy. The firefights going down. Charlie's coming over the hill. You want him coming for you. And so it just was really hit me in the feels what this daughter went through, and to hear it from her, man. Just encourage everybody to check it out. And thanks, Mike, for posting that in the chat. Jimmy, you have a blessed night too, brother. Good seeing you.
No, my dog is through Operation Delta Dog. I will have to register it. Barry, if you want to send me a DM on how to do that, I'd love to learn that process.
All right, folks. Well, we just want to come back on and kind of wrap a little bit, do a positive thing. Like, the VA is good, care is good to the VA, and you can have a great experience if you just work with them and meet them halfway. We've got some good content coming up for you in the next couple of weeks. And if you're a veteran with a story, or an org, or an issue, if you're a civilian who wants to support veterans, reach out to us. We got the Facebook page. We Are Resilient, or at Hellfish Haven on Facebook, or Oscar Mike Radio, and we'll get together with you and get you in rotation.
Absolutely. Like we already said, if we can't, fish the help, we'll find the right people that can.
Absolutely. Well, we are resilient. We are war. And it's been great with you all tonight. And we will see you next week. Mikey, 40 Mike. Thanks a bunch, brother.
Have a great night, everybody.